Hello and welcome back with yours indeed, Magnus Hellfire. Now this is the third devlog for our medieval RTS project that we're doing, and I would just like to take a moment to apologise. I was meant to do this months ago, actually back at Christmas, but I've actually completely forgotten about it, and the others, because they've had assigned some work, haven't been working on it. But yeah, finally getting back to it as I should have. So anyway, so I'll start it here. So, Will's had done a lot of the work. Will's no, Dan's been sat on his fat ass. I should take this point to say Will may have got at my script at one point when he came over for a VR jam. So if I pause at any point, it's because I haven't read through it and I'll be reading something that he's put. I'm like, I'm not going to say that. So that last bit was something Will said, but we actually found out Dan's been working on other stuff that we will be looking at putting in soon, hopefully. Anyway, so as I said, we've all been a little bit off. I was going to do a load of work for it while I was at home, but unfortunately I didn't have my desktop. A laptop I have with me couldn't run a game from the mid-1990s, let alone the Unity 3D engine. But move on to stuff that we have done. So we ditched the model that I made for units for a few different reasons that I totally haven't forgotten because it's been so long. And Will had made and rigged some new ones that looked a lot better anyway. At least the heads weren't missing. These are just placeholders anyway, as he also worked on a new knight model that was also imported. We're not entirely sure why our models keep losing parts of themselves, but for whatever reason we just seem to be having that problem. Some of the units are still using placeholder weapons, and some of the other units such as cavalry still need updating, and all of the units are still waiting on me to animate them. That's going to be my next job after this devlog. Will has also incorporated a day-night cycle into the game, which adds a nice effect. While we haven't set a certain length of the cycle yet, we're likely to have it last somewhere between the region of 10 to 15 minutes, though that completely depends on how it fits into the game itself, and we'll adapt it to suit it better later on. Like I said, we've no clue how good it'll look later on in terms of whether it's 5 minutes, 20 minutes. It completely depends to the feel of the game. I also tried to implement a GUI canvas in order to sort out building selection menu from which the player could select buildings to build, or at least that was the idea. We quickly learned that I need some serious practice with that, so after I found out that I can't really do that, I went back to tidying the folder structure. At this point I'm pretty much the housekeeper of the folder structure. Will has started to make some headway with the problem of buildings being placed on the nav mesh not being baked into a nav mesh, as they were all instigated after a nav mesh was originally baked. This meant that units would not recognise the buildings as an obstacle and would just pass straight through them, as the nav mesh wouldn't recognise them as static objects. To get around this problem, Will used a nav mesh obstacle when applied to building prefabs. It's used when the buildings are instigated, as it cuts a hole in the nav mesh when an object is applied to it. When the object is applied to the nav mesh is static. As these buildings aren't going to be mobile, well that's the idea anyway, this solves that issue. Though it does create some new ones as to how we're going to get units to walk along castle walls for defence, as we're needing to look out a better way so that we can fix that problem. So it fixes one big problem we've got and then puts in another problem we've got to fix. But at least it's a step in the right direction. Another thing that Will has also implemented is the code to actually connect the player to the servers when they first load up the game. He has also started our basic GUI, by which I mean there's a button, which means players can press that to attack each other, though the only button there at the moment is the attack, and it only allows them to join each other's worlds. There's nothing else that it really does at the moment. There is also an error message that will display if the game cannot connect to any of the online servers. However, like I've always said, there's nothing on the multiplayer side of the moment, and the units can just move around, so there's no real functionality to that at this point in time. We still need to add the combat and health and buildings and everything like that. Anyway, that's been the end of this devlog. Like I said, I apologise, it has been a bit of a messy one. I apologise, it has been such a long time in the making. I had a lot of other things going on, and like I said, I kind of forgot about this. So we are going to be getting back onto it, like I promised in every devlog. But Dan's, like I said earlier, Dan's done a load of work. He's taken some ideas that we had and built them in an external game project, and we're going to try and import them across. I'm going to get on with the animation stuff. That's actually what I'm going to do after my dinner's finished cooking. That's actually it burning now, so I'm going to end it here. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time. Hellfire out. Shit.